Finally, the weekend was here, Friday. And I was going to spend it with my twin sister Donna and my mother. Since the divorce, I have been living with my father simply because I was the boy. Living with my father was fun, but not as much fun as with my mother and sister. We are 11 years old, and unless you were brought up in a cave or in the deep woods away from civilization, I don't have to tell you what my sister and I did when we were growing up and playing games like house and stuff. I missed those games, so every time I visited with Mom and Sis, I became Carol. Mom picked me up at my house because my school was off that Friday while Donna had a full day. She was driving the van so that I could change my clothes, which she brought in a shopping bag. I found one of Donna's school uniforms and everything else I would need to be Carol. It was not difficult changing in the van, but I did find something different. I found a training bra with the clothes. I mentioned it to Mom, who told me that Donna had been wearing one for just about a month now, so she thought I might want to start wearing one myself. So, I put it on. It was slightly padded, and when I put on the short-sleeved white shirt, I had teeny titties. Mom fixed my hair just before dropping me off at the pizza place up the block from Sis's school. I took the backpack and shoulder bag and climbed out. Mom told me to tell Donna not to eat too much because we were going out for supper. I was so glad to see Donna and her friends, Peggy and Mary Beth. We hugged each other like girls do. I ordered a slice and drink and told Donna not to eat too much because we were going out for supper. We usually did that on my visits. We talked for a while, then had to go. Mary Beth lived right next door to us and wanted to show us, Donna and I, her new dress that her grandmother just bought. I thought it was very pretty and held it against me to get an idea how it might look on me and told her that I might like to borrow it one of these days. She assured me that anytime I wanted to borrow it, I could. I had done things like that in the past. Do I have to mention that none of our girlfriends knew who I really was? Mom had this thing that as soon as Donna came home from school, she had to change out of her school uniform. Donna was more than happy to comply because, like almost all girls who had to wear school uniforms, hated them. Not so with me. I used to wish that I could stay here and live as Carol just so I could wear the uniform. Well, that was not the only reason. I hated living with my father. I sat on the bed while Donna changed into a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. We just talked about our lives and what happened since we last saw each other, which I will not go into here because it will neither add to nor distract from this tale. Talk about how time flies when you are having fun. Before we knew it, it was again time to change into what we were going to wear for supper. We would not be going to any place real fancy, but not something like a Burger Barn thing, so Donna and I opted for something casual. A dress, finally a dress. Mine was a cute floral pattern with spaghetti straps and a slight V-neck, just low enough to show some of my new training bra, which I was dying to show off. It was one of those dresses that was above my knees in front and below them in back and looked like a wraparound dress but wasn't. Like Donna, I wore pantyhose and 1-inch pumps. I wore a denim jacket with the sleeves cut off at the shoulders. We arrived at the diner at about 7:30 and were seated right away by our favorite waiter who always found time to flirt with us, Donna and me. Donna thought he was just the cutest guy around and wished she was old enough to be his girlfriend. He was about 18, I agreed with her. He was cute, and if I was a girl I would like to be his girlfriend too. The next day was food shopping at the local supermarket. I liked that. I liked doing anything with my mother and sister. Donna almost always liked us to dress as twin sisters, and I had no problem with that as long as we wore dresses or skirts. I never had the chance to dress when with my father, so I took advantage of these weekends where I could be Carol all the time. After unpacking the food and putting it away, Donna and I went next door to visit Mary Beth. As soon as we entered her bedroom, I saw the dress from yesterday laying on her bed. She said that she was going away for the rest of the weekend, and if I wanted to borrow her dress, now was as good a time as any. I figured I would wear it tomorrow before I went home. Donna and I spent the rest of the day at the mall and walking in the park watching the guys playing ball. We knew, at least by sight, some of them from the mall. After supper Donna and I, went to the town carnival. Donna said she had just the dress for me. She called it her farm dress. I could see why when she showed it to me, and it did look good on me. It was a sort of beige with no sleeve and came to just about my knees. There was a sort of apron a bit shorter than the dress. Donna wore jeans and a t-shirt. We had just about gotten there when a couple of guys we knew saw us and asked if they could hang with us. We said okay. The fare was crowed, so as not to get separated Carl and Vince, took our hands as we walked around. At one time the four of us went on the Ferris wheel. It was the kind with two sets of seats that faced each other. Donna and Vince took one set and Carl and I took the opposite set facing them. Everything was going well until we reached the top where Carl put his arm around my shoulder and tried to kiss me on my cheek. I pulled away to stop being kissed but did not move his arm from my shoulder where he kept it for the rest of the ride. I knew Donna saw what happened but she never said anything because she was going through the same thing. For the rest of the night we let the guys put their arms around our waists. About 10 o'clock they walked us home and said goodbye. Donna gave me a look that I read, if he tries to kiss you again, let him, which he did, and I did. No one died or threw up so I guess it was okay. While in bed that night Donna talked to me about her boyfriend Vince. She really liked him and tonight was the first time he showed any interest in her. She asked me, begged me to be nice to Carl if he tried anything again because he and Vince were best friends and she thought that if I ignored Carl, Vince might get mad at her. I did not like it but agreed. I did not think we would be seeing each other again because I was going home the next afternoon. The next day I wore the dress Mary Beth loaned me. It was so feminine, the kind Donna would never wear because wearing a dress was an everyday thing, but for me, I welcomed such a pretty, fancy dress. It was aqua, with short puffy sleeves and rows of lace up and down the bodice to my waist. The skirt came to my knees in 3 tiers of ruffles edged with lace and it had some sort of stiffness to push out my skirt and I thought it was perhaps the prettiest dress I ever wore. I made a mental note to thank Mary Beth for letting me wear it. The 3 of us went out for brunch and I felt everyone looking at me in my dress and smiling. At the restaurant, as we were about to leave, Carl and Vince happened by. Donna and I introduced them to Mom. They asked if we wanted to go for a walk with them. Donna elbowed me and nodded her head yes, so I too said yes. Mom reminded us that we had to be back home by 1 o'clock, 2 hours away. We took a nice walk through the park, stopping every so often to sit on a bench and much to my dismay, allowed the guy to make out with us. I really hated it when Carl kissed me but it was for Donna so I didn't mind all that much, and it would be over in about an hour. Finally, it was time to get home so I could change and go back home to my dull drab life with my father. Just to play it safe, I changed into a sundress in case anyone saw us leaving the house, then I changed back to Ron in the car until next time.